So, welcome to my tutorial about major and minor. What is the difference between those two scales? And I say right in the beginning, the difference is only the third tone of the scale. This is such an easy thing and such simple. So let's take a look at it. First of all, you need, I just do this so I need the space again then. The first thing you need is to know the major C major scale. This is the basic you need to know to understand what I'm saying now. So in the C major scale, it's like this. It starts with the C here, the D, the E, the F, the G, the A, the B, and the C. And as you can see, if you take a closer look at the letters, you will find out that it's just the ABC. Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Though that is very, very important to understand. Because the second thing you need to know is where are the tones on the piano. And we take a look at this: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then it starts again. So that means that the white keys on the keyboard represent the C major scale. But what about the black keys? There are two ways to name a black key, and I will show you this because we need this later. So this key here could be named first by just take a sharp next to the C, so the C goes to this, so this is a C sharp. The other way is to use a D with a flat to go from the D to the D flat. So these two ways, and this you have for each of those black keys. So this black key could be the D with a sharp or the E with a F. This could be the F with a sharp, this could be the F with a sharp or the G with a flat. This could be the G with a sharp, the A with a flat, and this could be the A with a sharp and the B with a flat. I hope you understand this because we will need this in just a second. So I just do this away. As I said before, you only need, or the difference is the third tone. So let's have a look. What is the third tone of this scale? So we have the first note, the second note, and the third note. That means all the other tones we don't need for this, what we do. So we put them away just to have a concentrate on the main thing. It's just get used to this app. So to understand what happens here, we need to know the distance between the root, which is a C, because it gives a name. The root is always a note that gives the name to the scale. So we have the C major scale, the root is the C, and we need to know the distance from the C to the E. So therefore, we have to know that we measure distances in music with half tones and whole tones. So this is a half tone, and this is a whole tone. But what is a half tone? Half tone, or some say half step. So this is half step, whole step, half tone, whole tone. That's, to me, it's the same. Maybe something different. To me, it's the same. So what means a half tone is always if you go from one key to the next possible key. That means from here we have two options. We can go to the E flat, or we can go to the D flat or C sharp. This is a half step from one key, from one key to the, from one key to the next possible key. The same is here. From here to here, it's a half step because here's no black key. So starting from the E, the next possible key is the F. Okay, pretty simple. Or from here to here, or from here to here, or even from here to here, of course, or from here to here. So you see, all these are half steps. Good. So we have to remove them. No, just because again, we want to now analyze the distance between the C and the E, and this is pretty easy. We start with from the C to the C sharp. That is one half step. Okay, from the D, a C sharp to the D, another one, and from the D we go to the D sharp, which is another one, and from the E we go, from the D sharp we go to the E, so we have another one. So we have 4 half steps, and this is the same as 2 whole tones. So this is a major third. And if this major third takes place in the first 3 tones, so from the root to the third tone, then we have, of course, a major scale. We have to have a major scale because it's the named C major scale, of course. So that means the 2 tones that are responsible for this scale being a major scale, just take another tool, which is this one, is the C and the E. All the other tones could be altered in any way. The only rule is every letter has to be once in the scale. That means you couldn't have a scale, not in normal jazz, things may be different, but you could not have a scale where the C comes twice. Like for instance, if you have a scale which is C, C sharp, D flat, that's not possible because you cannot use in regular scales, you cannot use the accidentals mixed. So, but you couldn't as well have a scale which is like let's say E, F, because you see the C is twice, you see here the C is twice and the D is missing, so this has to be, if you want to have the same tone, it has to be a D flat. This makes sense in some way. We need this now because as I said before, the difference between major and minor is the third note. So let's have a look at the third note here again. Let's take it on the keyboard because then we could see what we have for possibilities. So what we could do is, or what we can't do is the E, moving the E to the F, because the F in this case is the 4th note of the scale. And as I said before, we couldn't have one tone twice in the scale. That makes totally no difference and no sense. So it's not possible to move the E to the F because this is the fourth tone. So the only thing we can do is to move the E to the E flat. We do this now, and by this, when we do this, we cut out 1/2 step here, and this will change this here. So we move the E to the E flat and erase the E because we, as I said before, we couldn't use both E's. So, and to indicate that we did this, we have a B, oops, we will have a B in front of the 3 to indicate that this is minor, and we have to then do the same thing here. Oops. Do the same thing here. So now we have an E flat, which indicates minor. That means here we now have only 3 half steps, or 1.5 half, and this is then a minor third. A minor third. So, and again here we can change all the other tones, but what we can't change is the the first and the third note. So let's listen to that. So major. Again, an octave higher. This is major. It sounds pretty good. Yeah, I play the whole chord. Not good, it's familiar, you know, I mean, everybody knows the major scale. Good. And the minor scale, as you can hear, it's a totally different sound, feeling, yeah, the whole scale here. So that's the difference between major and minor. As you can see, only this here is the difference. Okay, let's have a look at the scale, at the triad. So, first of all, what is a triad? A triad is, you take a root, which is called the one. I know, I'm German, I write the one like this, you know, this is a one for you, I think, for most of the people. I don't know. Though this is my one, if you wonder what I'm doing here, it's just the one. Okay. So you take a root, and then you need, of course, the third tone, because as we know now, is this makes major and minor. So if we don't have a 3, so some chords, like they go like this, those chords are neither major nor minor. They are the suspended chords, but we don't need them now. Just additional info you don't need. So we need a third that indicates major or minor, though this is the major or minor thing. And then we need the fifth tone of the scale. So as we take a look at here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these tones, we need these tones to get us a triad. I do erase the others just to have the essential information we need. Sometimes this app is a bit slow. So now we have a triad, but we have it in a arpeggio. That means each tone comes after the other. If we want to have a triad played simultaneously, we have to do it like this, on top of each other. So this is a C minor, because we have a minor third here, but we want to start with the major, so we just move the flat away, and now we have major. Okay, let's have a look how this sounds. Oops. So that after one after another, and try to play it as a chord. So pretty easy, and you can improvise as well. Just taking these notes, these 3 notes. So improvising means you take, it's like painting. I have 3 colors. I have the C, I have the E, and I have the G. And all I do is just painting. Painting in music means you take 3 tones or 4 tones or 1 or 3 and just vary them in a rhythmical way. So rhythm is most important thing if you want to play solo. So now this is a major, as we see, it's a C major triad. To indicate this for a harmony player, or sometimes in songbooks, you need just a letter, and this is a letter, in this case, the letter C. So if you write this above a bar and then write a melody, everybody knows he has to play a C major triad, like here. So, and as you saw before, just what we have to do now to come to minor is we have to change the symbol. That means we write an M next to the C, to the root, or we do it like a minus. That's the same. Sometimes it's all right, sometimes it's called minor. So these are all possibilities for the same thing. For this thing that we have a flat. On the third we have a minor flat. So let's listen to that. Trying to play with with 2 fingers, with the fingers. So major again, minor. And as you can see, the major has a more happy sound and the minor is a more sad or a melancholic sound. So that's the main thing. But only the difference is 1 tone, you know, between major and minor. From E major to E flat minor. What does it mean for the scale? You may say, but you know, I have learned the scale, the minor scale is like this, blah blah. Well, I tell you, whatever you learned, I don't need this. We take a look at the scale we created. Therefore, I need to write down the scale again and show you what this means. So, come on. So, I write down the scale we had here. And if we play this scale, just playing it, yeah, I do it here. You hear the sound, and this sound is a minor sound, and this minor sound is called melodic minor. Okay, so now if I change only 1 tone, I change 1 note here, I get a Dorian minor. Listen to that. Good. And one more thing, if I change this, wait, I just take a different color. If I do this, plus the B flat, so I will have aeolic minor. Maybe you call it Aeolian, I don't know. And this is the one you learn in school. It's just because it's a parallel minor. Whatever this means, I don't want to, you know, make too much confusion. But we listen to that. So as you see, you can change, as you can see, you can change now, you can change every note of this scale and it still is a minor scale, because both, all of the scales need to have this tone and that tone. Everything else doesn't matter. The same thing is with major scales. I just give you two examples what how this would be in major, which is in jazz. It's very common to use those scales. So of course, if I want to go to major, I have just the only thing I have to do, I have to erase the B flat. And now this scale we have here, you know, I played already, I will play again, is the C major scale. Of course, it's not only the C major scale, it's called ionic major. If I do this here, I will play it to you. I played now, I just changed the color, it's more obvious what I did. Then I have the Lydian major scale. And if I do this now, I have the Lydian B flat 7, B7 scale, which is a very common scale in jazz. I just play this again. But all of these scales are major scales, you know? So that's the only difference, is the distance. Let's write it down one more time, like a brainwashing thing. Major, okay, let's take red as good. Major is 1 flat, 1 3. Minor is 1 flat 3. So every, you know, just do like this. Oops, wait a moment. So this scale is a minor scale, because because 1 flat 3. Never mind what the other tones are, it's definitely a minor scale. Like this one here. Though this scale is definitely a major scale because of this. So even if the sharp 9 is the minor third, you have a scale where the minor third and the major third, and this is always major scale. In the case the major third appears, it is a major scale. Never mind whether the E flat, which is the sharp 9 here, or D sharp, is in the scale. I hope I could help you. If you like the video, share with your friends, give a thumb up, and subscribe for more.